Say you enter a race that's more than 50 miles long, but the distance isn't the only thing you have to consider.
Not even close. You also have to carry a 50-pound pack, and the race includes crawling under barbed wire.
It's tough, and it's called the Spartan Death Race, an endurance test unlike any other. And Pensacola police officer going to be running it next month.
Fox 10 News reporter Russell Colburn joins us once again live from the Crawfish Festival in downtown Pensacola. Russell, this officer is dedicating the race to his son, correct?
That's right, Bob. You know, this story, truly a touching story about just a moving relationship. You know, Bruce Harris Jr. has always lived a life of discipline, serving the last 30 years in the force and in the Marine Corps. But nothing will test his resolve quite like the Spartan Death Race. Take a look.
We all have days or choices in our lives we wish we could have back. For Bruce Harris Jr., it's not making his children a top priority. Harris says he was mostly concerned with his 21-year career as a gunnery sergeant in the Marines. Deployments and training separated him from his son, Chris, until an accident 10 years ago opened his eyes.
He was out on a run in Minnesota, and it got to about 60 degrees below zero, and apparently he wasn't dressed appropriately. And while he was out on the run, he froze to death, and I'm bringing him home. I never got to say goodbye, and I would just hope that someplace out there I can find a way to do that, find a way to say goodbye to him the right way.
Now, a Pensacola Police Department canine officer, this is how Harris plans to reconnect, training rigorously for the toughest test of his life, the Spartan Death Race in Pittsfield, Vermont. It's a 2 to 3 day, 50-mile run which sends participants under barbed wire, over tough terrain, and pushes its victims to the brink physically and mentally.
The success rate for the death race is a little bit less than 10%. Out of the 230 people that started it last year, approximately 30 finished.
This is the pack Harris Jr. will be wearing for the Spartan race. It weighs 50 pounds, so just standing here in it is hard enough, but he tells me he'll be wearing it for a 50-mile race.
The only way they're going to get me off the course is if they have to take me off in a stretcher.
So to prepare, Harris has developed his own training regimen, doing things like this.
It's probably one of the most difficult things that I could think of to do over and over and over again.
It's constant pain, but for a purpose, and the memory of a relationship cut far too short.
When you cross the finish line, who or what will cross your mind?
My son. My son.
Harris says Chris's daughter, Alexandria, suffers from Down syndrome. So to support her and pay tribute to his son, Harris has raised over $3,200 in her name to the Down Syndrome Association of Minnesota. His goal is to raise $5,000 by race day on June 15th. Now, if you'd like to help, we've posted a link on our webpage, fox10tv.com. In Pensacola, Russell Colburn, Fox 10 News.
Thanks, Russell. And be it the Spartan Death Race or a 10K, it can be